That should do it. Oh, it's working. Welcome. I'm so glad you could be here with us today to try out my latest invention, Interacto-Vision. This device allows guests to visit us here in West Wallaby Street without having to leave the comfort of their own homes. Quite handy for stopping off at a distant granny's, don't you think? And wherever we go, you can come along. There's Gromit playing a spot of chess. Let's walk over and have a look. They're not playing. Let's ask Gromit. You can use your Interacto-Vision mouse to choose characters and things you want to interact with. I've built in brackets that will highlight the item on your screen. Dead handy that. Point at Gromit and click the left mouse button. Gromit doesn't seem very pleased. Point at Gromit and click the left mouse button. Things seem to be at a bit of a standstill. How's the match going, Gromit? Oh dear. Gromit might have more to share. I find out about all sorts of different things just by asking. Let's interact with that broken chess piece the same way we did with Gromit just now. We should talk to Gromit about his broken bishop first. How on earth did that happen? Getting competitive now, are we? This is a pickle, isn't it? Well, perhaps our new guest can help us find a replacement piece to get the game back on. There must be something in this room we can substitute for that bishop. Why don't we walk around and investigate items the same way as before? Hey, look at that. God save her, eh? Sometimes I come across things I want to carry around with me. With Interacto-Vision, you can see all of the things I've picked up. A piece for your game, Gromit. Oh, you've still got 2 queens. Might confuse things a bit, don't you think? So this won't do. Cheese. The porridge gun, the latest in high-speed breakfasts and brunch defense. That's a lovely shape. Here, Gromit, it's the spitting image of your bishop. This should work nicely. Bless you, lad. Well done and good thinking. You're getting clever with the Interacto-Vision. Just the sort of ingenuity we could use around here, right, Gromit? Thanks for stopping by. Do come back soon. Breakfast time, Gromit. Another perfect landing. Your turn to make breakfast, Gromit. Eggs, I think. And toast with honey today. Step to it, lad. I'm famished. I'll be right here if you need me, nursing me appetite. Honey piped directly from the source. Everyone in town will want their own honey tap when word gets out. Well, what did the postman bring us then? Any orders? Hand it over, lad. Walkies can wait, Gromit. I need me breakfast. Did you bring the mail, Gromit? Oh no, final demand, I don't know, this payment due now, and a disconnection? Nothing but bills, Gromit. I can't look at these before I have my breakfast. If we don't find some steady customers soon, I don't know how we'll make ends meet. Oh, all right then, I'll open one, but just the one? Seems your subscription to Marrow Growers Monthly is up for renewal. Don't suppose you'd consider cancelling? Thought not. Oh, better pay up then. Now, where did I put me pen? Ah, yes. Hey! That dog is getting a little too independent, if you ask me. How's that egg coming, Gromit? That, Gromit, was the sound of my belly. It's saying what I'm too polite to mention. Breakfast is late. Done to a turn. My compliments to the chef. But I'm still waiting for the eggs and honey. Cracking eggs, Chuck, but I can't... Honey, how sweet of you, Gromit. Now that's what I call a breakfast feast. Wasn't so difficult, was it, lad? With a hearty plate of eggs and toast under me belt, I'm ready to take on the world. Gromit, I've a strange feeling this is the day our fortunes are going to change.
Morning, Wallace. may I have a word?
If it's about yesterday's little mishap,
Oh, no, you see...
I can assure you it was an accident, Mr. Pinner, and I'll certainly pay for the damage to your grocery shop. I was just putting the Sniffer 3000 through its paces. It's still only a prototype, you know.
Oh, I realize that, Mr. Wallace.
And what better place to test out a cheese detector than in a shop with such an excellent selection of cheeses?
Happen. But you'll still have to pay for the damage, I'm afraid.
Yes, of course. I'll put it all right. Though funds are, how can I put this, a little tight at the moment. Only until our new business is up and running.
Aye, well, that's what I'm here to talk about. I understand you and Gromit are in the honey business now.
Fresh deliveries daily, from bee to you.
Ah, well, perhaps I can help you get on your feet. I'm having my annual sounding of the Crumpets Festival, and I'm clean out of honey. Can you deliver 50 gallons?
50 gallons?
By tonight?
Tonight?
It'll more than cancel your debt, and it'll be good advertising for you. What do you say?
I say... yes! We're in business, lad! Heads up, no time for slacking. From B to U has landed its first major order. 50 gallons of honey by tomorrow. I want this place to be a hive of activity. It's your chance to show the world what sort of workers you are. They're certainly buzzing with excitement. Or maybe they're hungry. Did you remember to feed them this morning, Gromit? Never mind, lad. I'll do it. Flowers. The perfect meal for a hungry hive. The remote control for my Sniffer 3000. Too bad about the teething problems. Still, this might come in handy. Look alive in there. Ah. Bon appetit. Oh. Not exactly a flood, is it? Flowers, Gromit. That's the weak link in our production chain. We need more flowers. My workers are very devoted to their queen. Now where can I find a whole lot of flowers in a hurry?
Beautiful morning, Mr. Wallace. I'm pleased to see you've emerged from your subterranean lair.
No flowers in here. Been doing a spot of gardening, have you, Miss Flit?
Working my green fingers to the bone. But the hard work appears to be paying off.
Indeed it does.
Blooms everywhere. I call it my purple paradise.
It certainly looks delicious. I mean, I imagine it would look delicious if you were an insect.
You mean if I were a bee?
Well, now you mention it,
You want to feed my flowers to your bees?
that is, if you don't mind,
How many would you like?
as many as you can spare.
Oh, you can have all you want, Mr. Wallace.
Oh, much obliged, Miss Flit.
Here, you can jolly well grow your own.
Righto.
There now, with hard work and a little luck, you should have a nice bed of flowers in 2 or 3 months.
I can't wait 2 or 3 months. I've got a deadline. This evening.
Ugh, you poor simple man. Nothing grows that quickly.
I wonder. Rex Armstrong's Quick Grow Muscle Formula. Watch them sprout in seconds. If it works on people, perhaps I could adapt it to work on flowers. 3 miracle ingredients. Grotein, Energize, Strongium. Well, I need a miracle, and fast. Shouldn't be too tricky to knock up a batch myself. Then we'll see who's got the grandest garden in West Wallaby Street. The hive will be humming in no time.
Caught you! Can't take an old soldier by surprise.
Morning, Major Crumb.
It is, if you don't mind enemy invasions.
I beg your pardon.
Didn't you get my message? Received intelligence of a major air assault. Expect the sirens to sound any minute. Hope you know where your nearest air raid shelter is.
I do recall something about that, but Major Crumb, are you sure you're not mistaken?
I know I've made predictions before, but I'm not crying wolf. This time, I've got proof.
Jar?
It's what's inside the jar that counts. Incontrovertible evidence that the enemy is on the move.
Does it? I can only see a snail.
Of course it's a snail. But what's she trying to tell us? That's the important thing.
What is she trying to tell us?
Look at her, man. She's retreated into her shell in the middle of the day. And that means only one thing. It means she knows trouble is about to strike from the heavens. Law of nature, Wallace. Learned it in France during the war. Never wrong yet. You're looking at my case, aren't you, Wallace?
Well, I suppose I was, Major.
Bet you'd like to know what's inside.
I am curious, yes.
Ha! This case is packed full of government-issue Grotein bars.
Routine.
Rations, Wallace. Emergency rations for
emergencies, obviously. Been stockpiling them since the war. Enough nutrition in them to feed a man under fire for a whole day.
And very tasty they look too.
Tasty? They're foul, but packed with high-strength protein.
I'd love to try one.
Out of the question, I'm afraid. You don't have clearance. And besides, protein bars are only issued in the event of civil emergencies. Orders are orders, Wallace. Good man, Wallace. I see you at least appreciate the seriousness of the situation. Now, spread the word. If people don't believe what an old soldier has to say, perhaps they'll listen to the snail.
You've come buzzing back, Mr. Wallace. As a bee to a blossom, eh?
I realise this may seem a trifle irregular, but Major Crumb insisted I show you this. It's... oh.
A snail? In my garden? Have you lost your mind, Wallace?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I wonder where Major Crumb disappeared to. So that's where the dog tags went. I'm sure Gromit will be glad to get them back. Me porridge gun could prove fatal if it fell into inexperienced hands. Oops.
Wallace, thank heavens you made it to the shelter. I'd given you up for lost. Caught in the crossfire, were you? Stop pacing about, Wallace. You're making the rest of the men nervous. Ouch! What did you expect, Wallace? You can't snatch a soldier's helmet like that and not hear about it. It's a long way to Tipperary, Wallace.
So they say. My workers are very devoted to their queen. I thought you might find this useful, Major Crumb.
A helmet? By George, Wallace, there's nothing like a good helmet. Makes a fellow want to put himself in the path of projectiles. If you know what I mean. You've got to get your mind off the carnage up there. Would you like to hear one of my old war stories? I'd help pass the time.
Well, I hate to...
Of course you would. I brought visual aids. I can still see it perfectly after all these years. It was torn
Any breakthroughs on the honey front, Gromit?
I see you've met Private Gromit. Fine soldier, that lad. Never speaks out of turn. As I was sitting down to my mid-afternoon snack, an apple, not delicious apple.
Who's that fellow?
That's me as a young recruit, off to basic training. How I cried when they cut off my golden curls. But I cheered up as soon as they issued me with a beautiful set of dog tags. Dashed useful dog tags. If you happen to forget your rank or name, you've got it right there. Never go into battle without your dog tags, Wallace. I can still see it perfectly.
That's all very interesting, Major Crum, but I wanted to ask you
Don't
about...
mind, Wallace. I'm in the middle of a story.
Excuse me, Major, but...
Later, Wallace, when I've finished. Oh, there I was, back with my...
Now, there's a sight.
That's me posing with Mother next to my 40mm bolters. Look at the size of that monster. Big Betty, we called her. The gun, not my mother. 3 weeks later.
What a face!
That's me kitted out for heavy combat. That helmet took many a dent before the war was through. Without it, I could have become seriously loopy. Take my advice, Wallace. Never go into battle without a regulation helmet like the one in this picture.
Sounds like you were quite a soldier, Major Crum.
Well, Wallace, why the past tense?
Oh dear.
Once a soldier, always a soldier. Something you civilians will never grasp. And I'd be happy to prove it by charging into the fray. That is, if I had a sturdy helmet, which I have. But I couldn't go into battle until I'd been officially recommissioned. And I'd need to find someone to take charge of this shelter and distribute the protein bars.
I found these in the hall, Major Crum.
Dog tags! I've been recommissioned! Bound to happen, of course. Can't leave good military material sitting on the shelf. My place is in the trenches. By thunder! I'm a soldier again! Sir George is ready for his dragon! And yet, duty compels me to remain here. No one else to guard the protein bars. Confounded sense of duty.
Pardon me, Major. About those protein bars of yours.
Rations, Wallace. Emergency rations for... emergencies, obviously. Been stockpiling them since the war. Enough nutrition in them to feed a man under fire for a whole day.
And very tasty they look, too.
Tasty? They're foul, but packed with high-strength protein.
I'd love to try one.
Out of the question, I'm afraid. You don't have clearance. And besides, protein bars are only issued in the event of civil emergencies. Orders are orders, Wallace. By George, this is an emergency! Private Gromit! I hereby issue you 1 protein bar. Guard it well, and see that it lasts you all day. Wallace, here's one for you as well.
Much obliged. Gromit could do the job.
Private Gromit? Can I entrust my precious cache of protein bars to a Pongo? Perhaps so. He's proven himself a trusty foot soldier. Yes. If I am called away to the front, I'd feel comfortable leaving Private Gromit in charge. Good heavens! I shouldn't be skulking around in a cellar like a frightened rat. I'm a soldier, by thunder! Private Gromit, I hereby appoint you officer commanding this air raid shelter. Here, you pass out the rations. I've got a war to win. Charge!
It's empty. I could have sworn there was a tea bag left. Hold on a minute. Strongium. That's one of the ingredients in Rex Armstrong's Quick Grow Muscle formula. I need that tea bag.
Hello, Wallace. Paneer here again. Just checking on that honey order. Almost ready, I hope. This year's Festival of Crumpets could be the best yet if your honey's as sweet as you say. So sorry I had to ban you and your inventions from the actual premises.
Paneer's produce.
Hello, Mr. Paneer.
Wallace, how's that honey order coming along?
Oh, smashing. Just smashing. It's a honey of an order, all right. What was the quantity again?
50 gallons.
50 gallons. 50 teaspoons would be easier.
You won't let me down, will you? I don't want my respected Festival of Crumpets turning into a mad crumpet rumpus.
Oh, no, Mr. Paneer. Certainly not. Goodbye. Oi, come back here, you thieving rascal. That's my tea bag.
I won't have you threatening that dear little creature. Not while he's in my garden. You're persistent in your attentions this morning, Mr. Wallace. Have you noticed? I put a new roof on Mr. Nutter's house.
Mr. Nutter?
Surely you're acquainted with our neighbour, Mr. Nutter, the squirrel.
I'm not on first name terms with any of the neighbourhood animals, I'm afraid.
What about Gromit?
Oh, no, he isn't either. Cold toast. Shame to let it go to waste. Here you are, little fella. Try some toast.
Yes, do feed him. I'm sure the little mite's hungry. What are you looking for exactly? Back again, Mr. Wallace? I'm flattered.
Perhaps you'd like to give the purple pansies a sniff. You'd have to, lean over, of course, but...
I see no point in leaning over and sniffing my purple pansies. I'm giving them the cold shoulder until they decide to shape up and bloom for me.
Ah, Mr. Wallace.
That looks like... Can it really be cheese?
Indeed it is, Wallace. Wensleydale, your favourite?
Am I to take it that these are...
Yes, free samples. Go on, duck in.
Don't mind if I do, Mr. Paneer. One for now. And one for later.
Don't forget, Mr. Wallace, 50 gallons by sunset.
Could those be? I couldn't help but notice the flowers on your window ledge, Mrs. Gabberling.
I love
lovely, aren't they? Bring a touch of summer to the town square. Especially the purple pansies. Always been partial to pansies, me. You should see the flat. It's full of them.
Blinking weeds, if you ask me. Can't abide them.
Oh, go and suck a lemon, you moaning ninny. Oh, now look what you've done, you clumsy oaf. And open up that window when I'm yelling at you.
All right, but only to prove your insults don't get to me anymore. I can deflect them all.
Is that so?
Uh-oh.
Hey, it's not closing time yet.
Pardon me, Mrs. Gabberly. I wonder, that is, could you spare a...
Verb.
Sorry?
Give me a verb, Wallace. An action word.
Oh, playing a word game, are we?
In a manner of speaking.
Oh, well, let's see. A verb. Chew is an action.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good one. Now I need a thing.
A thing.
Aye, you know, something physical you could touch.
Something I can touch. Toad?
Why not? Now a descriptive word, if you please.
Spotted. That's a descriptive word.
No? Oh, that's a corker, that is. Last one, nearly done. I need another thing. Or like a person or animal.
A person or animal? Now, let me see now. Grub?
Yes, that's a thing. Hey!
What is it now?
Go chew! A toad! You spotted! Grub!
Referring to me liver spots, are you? Beauty marks, I call them.
A good solid insult, I thought. But maybe we need to think different.
That was an interesting word game, Mrs. Gabberly.
Want to play again? I need a word, Wallace.
How about cheese? It's one of my favourites.
No, an action word.
Oh, yes, an action word. Oh, there's melt.
Fine, that'll do. Now a thing, if you please.
Right, a thing. Mouth.
Why not? Now a descriptive word, if you please.
Mild.
You're good at this. And finally, a person or a thing.
A person or a thing. Gentleman.
Yes, that's a thing. Hey!
What is it now?
Your mouth! Your mouth! You mild gentleman!
Hey! You do know how to wound a bloke, Winnie.
him that time. Serves him right for being such a grumpy old grandad.
Would you mind, if I, that is, could you see your way fit to lending me that pot of pansies, Mrs. Gabberley, for business purposes?
Business purposes? Well, be my guest. I've got bunches of them.
Well, if it isn't Wallace. I had a notion he'd be nosing round the police station this morning.
Me poor Sniffer 3000. I only just put the finishing touches on it yesterday, and it's already fallen afoul of the law. I noticed you received my petition for early release of the Sniffer 3000, Constable Dibbins.
Yes. And I notice it's attracted the signatures of just one man and his dog.
We're only appealing for natural justice.
But your blinking cheese detector thingaby, what do you call it, destroyed an entire grocery store.
Teething problems. It's still only a prototype.
A prototype? It's a villain, if you ask me. A diabolical device. You can see that in its face.
My machine isn't evil, Constable Dibbins. It's just got a short fuse and a few loose nuts.
We'll see. I'm going to formally interview this glorified tin can of yours, and if it can convince me that it's not a menace to society, then perhaps I'll release it into your custody. You there, prisoner. Kindly look at me when I'm talking to you.
That mattress looks awfully hard. Just as well the Sniffer 3000 goes into sleep mode automatically. Fear not, my little cheese-sniffing friend. Soon have you out of there.
If that's his attitude, he can rot in jail as far as I'm concerned. We've had our little chat.
And?
I'm afraid there's no talking to your Sniffer. Hardwired for criminality, I'd say.
The sky is blue, and still it rains on yours truly.
Miss Flint, if you'll just take a look at the pansies, I think you'll...
I told you, Mr. Wallace. I refuse to let those yellow hooligans have the satisfaction of... Oh, purple. You see? They're mending their ways. They just needed a firm talking to, that's all. Mother forgives you, you naughty little pansies. Sweet satisfaction, Mr. Wallace.
Yes, indeed. Very sweet. What's that? That looks like the flyer I picked up in the hall. Why would Gromit throw away an important piece of correspondence like that? Last night's bedtime snack. Gorgonzola makes a nice change from Wensleydale. That's the racket Gromit used when he took the cup at the Brambleton Open, Canine Division. This call box has been a boon for Gromit. No matter where he is in the house, he's never far from his master's voice. Oh? Trap door. Phew, that'll put me right to sleep. That was a grand fishing trip, Gromit, until that giant squid turned up. I might find the answer to my problems here, but searching through these books would take me all day. Silicon flowers. Can't feed those to my bees. They demand the organic variety.
Have you brought it, Mr. Wallace?
Well, well, look who's back. Returned to the scene of the crime, have we?
Cheesy nibble, Officer Dibbins?
Well, 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 Wensleydale. Not attempting to bribe an officer, are you, Wallace? For shame. The great British Bobby cannot be bought off with a cheesy nibble.
Can you see fit to grant my appeal, Constable Dibbins?
Not on your Nelly. That heap of nuts and bolts is now but trouble. Couldn't give me a single straight answer when I tried to interrogate it.
It only responds to certain commands. I know, I programmed it. Perhaps you could try a gentler approach?
I'll have another chat with it. More friendly-like.
Oh, yes. Oh, much obliged, Constable Dibbins.
I ain't promising nothing, mind. Time we had a little chat. Look at me when I'm talking to you.
Not worth doing.
Look at me when I'm talking to you.
The sniffer doesn't work that way, Constable Dibbins. You've got to...
I'm conducting this interview, Wallace, if you don't mind. Blasted impertinence! No change, I'm afraid. And its moral compass seems to be badly malfunctioning. If it isn't Wallace. I had a notion you'd be nosing round the police station this morning.
How much does a helmet like that weigh?
£8 and 5 ounces. Some days feels more like 80 pounds.
How long do you intend to hold my sniffer 3000, Constable Dibbins?
As long as the law requires.
It's not malicious. It just malfunctions from time to time.
Is that so?
And sometimes it short circuits when it gets overheated.
Perhaps it does.
Why don't you try talking to it once more?
All right. Once more. You there, prisoner. Kindly look at me when I'm talking to you. That's more like it. Now you've had time to think, what can you tell me about what happened yesterday? Feel bad about what you did, do you? Do you regret what you did? He's weeping. Maybe this contraption's got feelings after all. Now, I want a truthful answer. If I release you from custody, will you do it again? Well, I'll be damned. The prisoner has been interviewed.
Yes?
And having exhibited signs of repentance, I am prepared to release him into your protective custody, provided, Wallace, you give me an assurance that you'll keep your blinking eye on him. Or it. Or whatever he answers to.
Oh, I'll keep an eye on him, Constable Dibbins. You have my word on that. One generous chunk of protein to give it texture. One dose of strontium into the mix. 66.6% of a quick-grow miracle muscle formula. A spoonful of Energites and the formula will be complete. .6% of a quick-grow miracle muscle formula. A spoonful of Energites and the formula will be complete. 1 unit of Energite fluid for a creamy finish. Now to mix up my very own quick grow muscle formula. That ought to do it. No, the Mixomatic's all mixed up. Stop! Stop! Help! Gromit! Oh, thanks, lad.
checking to see if anything's sprouted yet, Mr. Wallace?
Well, as a matter of fact, Miss Flit,
Really? I don't see what you're hoping to... Oh! I don't believe
it
it!
works! It works! The homemade quick grow miracle muscle formula works! We're in business, lad. You see, Gromit, look where a bit of enterprise can get you. If I hadn't found that flyer you chucked in the bin, I'd never have been able to concoct my Miracle Grow formula. And then where would we be? You really must be careful what you chuck out, you know? Blinking Nora!
Oh, my word! I think I'm going to faint.
This ought to be plenty of fuel for the old pollinator. Doesn't suit my immediate purpose.
That's champion, that is. 50 gallons of honey and just in time for my annual tea and crumpet festival. Pleasure doing business with you, Wallace.
Always aim to please our bees. That's the last of our bills, Gromit, and we've got just about enough left over for that little holiday we've been planning. This year, I fancy Blackpool. Oh, yes, lad. I think our money troubles are over at last.
Air raid! Air raid! Battle
Oh, dear.
stations everywhere!
Not this again.
Excellent vantage point. Prepare for a crash landing, you devils! Sorry, Wallace, but I'm going to have to commandeer your dining room.
Now, just a minute, Major Crumb.
No time to argue, old man. The whole throne's under bombardment.
But
Here they come!
wasn't it, Gromit? Giant bees!
Heaven help the good citizens of West Wallaby Street! Civilians out!
But
That's an order, Wallace. Private Gromit, kindly escort this civilian from the battle zone. Carry on, soldier! Keep the faith, soldier! West Wallaby Street needs you!
good heavens, Gromit, you don't suppose those monsters have anything to do with our honey-making operation, do you? Bumbling heck! My quick grow formula. It didn't just affect the flowers. Just hope it's a wrong number and not more bad news.
Private Gromit! It's looking grim out there! Good man, Private Gromit! Help me bring these blighters down! Got the blighter! Bullseye! Got him! Bounder got away! Into the dustbin of history for you, my friend! Beg the Bounder! Try getting out of that one, fly boy! Right where he belongs, the fiend! Did you see that? Ah! Blew him right out of the sky! That'll teach him. A thrilling sight for you, Private Gromit. Why, I feel like a young man again. Calls for a celebration, Private. Meet you in the mess in 20...
Yes, Mr. Paneer. Well, of course you're upset. Being dive-bombed by giant bees isn't good for any business. We're doing all we can to get the situation under control. Normal honey service will be resumed as soon as possible. With normal-sized bees. That's a promise. There's a giant fly in the soup, lad. And it's shaped like a bee. They're taking over the town. Time to read the Riot Act. I am their employer, after all. Oh! They won't listen. They're completely out of control. This honey business has a sting in the tail and no mistake. Oh! Do something, Gromit! Hello, from B to... Oh, Constable Dibbins. Well, after all, it was an innocent mistake with the ingredients.
Ah, Mr. Gabble here. I ain't much good at eating humble pie. But I spoke out of turn yesterday. You're not a daft apers after all. What I said to you, I take it all back. You're a credit to the town. Just a minute. What's this? Ah! Giant friggin' bees! Oh my giddy heart! There's only one nincompoop round here what could have caused this!
Well, after all, it was an innocent mistake. Careful with the auto-flip frying pan, lad. The timer mechanism is very delicate. It's liable to spring at odd moments. Yes, I know, it's terrible. I don't know that I'd say that. Well, after all, it was an innocent mistake. With the ingredients. Well, when you put it that way, Constable Dibbins, yes, I'll certainly try to. It's working on
Yoo-hoo! Gromit! Up here! Now, listen to me, nice doggy-wuggy. I'm trapped in this tree by giant bees. Do you understand? You must take a message to your master. I need him to get me down from here. Can you tell him that? Oh, wait a minute. Give him this. It's a note. Oh, tell him to hurry. I can't hold on much longer.
I'm giving you somebody call the police. Get the army. Do something about these bees. I am stuck in my super set of the house.
I said get out! I may be knocking on, but I ain't finished yet. Oh, stop a while, will you? Got no one to natter with today, and you're a real good listener. Oi, it ain't closing time yet. Your master certainly made a mess of things with that sniffer whatchamacallit, but yesterday was a walk in the park compared with today's mess. Giant bees!
Ah, Mr. Gabble here. I ain't much good at teaching humble pie, but I spoke out of turn yesterday. You're not a daft apers after all. What I said to you, I take it all back. You're a credit to the town.
Well, fighting dogs come limping home. There now, weren't so hard, were it?
Is that you, Winnie? Breaking code of silence, are you?
No need for silence now you've shown a bit of humility.
Humility? Me? Never!
Oh, you don't fool me. You're just a big old softy, and I know it. I need me head examined, keeping shop open when town's crawling with giant bees.
What's got into you, Winnie? Stay back, I say! Oh, Winnie Gabble!
Sorry for the delay, Mr. Paneer. I think you'll find the streets are now bee-free.
Thank heavens for the boys in blue.
Now, I'll have to ask you to accompany me to the station. There's some paperwork we need to fill out. Nothing too bothersome.
Happy to do my part.
It's citizens like you what make my job a pleasure, Mr. Paneer. What do you want? Off with you now. Very busy at the moment. Haven't time for inquisitive dogs. Oh. And tell that master of yours he left summat behind.
I know Constable Tibbins. Well, yes, like I said, he's very well trained. Right then. Goodbye, Constable. Good work, lad. Seems you took care of the downtown gang good and proper. But so long as they're still supersized, our job's only half done. I'd better get to work on a reverse growth formula. pacified all the bees, Gromit? Good lad. I knew I could count on you.
Help! Wallace! Someone!
That sounds like Miss Flit.
Help! Get me down from here!
Don't panic. I'm coming, Miss Flit. Oh, it seems I'm underdressed.
Gracious!
Hang on, Miss Flit.
My saviour!
So that's the story, Miss Flit. I'm afraid my miracle growth formula led to some supersized problems.
I hope you're going to get rid of the infernal stuff.
Oh, I am. And rest assured, all the bees have been dealt with safely and humanely.
Well, that's a relief. But weren't you scared facing down an angry swarm of giant bees all by yourself?
Frightened? Oh, well, I was heavily outnumbered, of course, but they soon saw who was boss and that the sting was on the other foot.
I was terrified.
That's only natural, Miss Flit. Well, I had a twinge or two myself at times, you know, but keep a cool head. That's my motto. Look your adversary square in the eye and never let yourself get carried away. Put me down! Get off! It's Gromit! Lincoln Nora! The Queen's trying to turn me into royal jelly! The ingratitude! After I've built her a hive in solid brass and a magnetronic pollinator thingamajig to take all the hard work out of money making. Oh, I'm beginning to think I should never have mixed this growth formula at all. I ought to chuck it away. Hey! Easy, old girl. No need to get excited. Put me down gently and no one will get hurt. Oh dear, nothing in the beekeeper's manual about aerial abduction. Help! Help! Gromit! Attaboy! I knew you'd come through. Raise the ladder, lad.
United with his master, the wellspring of his happiness. A dog who willingly sacrificed.
What are you waiting for, Gromit? Raise the ladder! That's right, lad. Now raise the ladder. That's torn it. The ladder's broken, and I left the spare at home. on, Gromit! It's no use, Gromit. She won't let go. You'll have to think of a plan B, Gromit. Phew! Back on terra firma. Well done, Gromit. Gromit? Gromit! You all right, lad? Oh, good show. We've made it through this little episode in one piece. More than I can say for the autopilot, I'm afraid. Oh, the autopilot! Oh dear, looks like our troubles aren't quite over. Look out behind you, Gromit! Keep her at bay. I'll try and lose her in here.
Curl up at his master's feet.
Perhaps the honey could use a little kick.
With his master, the wellspring of his
If I leave, who'll drive the truck?
dog will willingly sacrifice his very life to
Give her a dose of her own medicine, lad.
fight wild cats and dodge bullets. He'll even drag his master's comatose body across frozen tundra through raging blizzards if he has to. Or if his master is infected with some rare tropical disease, the dog will give up years of his life.
No, we warned him not to try carrying That's right. We ain't him. It was bewitched.
Give her the what for, Gromit?
Something to deserve it. I never. I've been a blooming angel all blooming day. Well, where's your problem? Come again. You're blooming. Lads, I must have thought you were a flower.
Bagged her, Gromit. Ooh, cracking teamwork, lad. Ooh, cracking teamwork, lad. I've done it, Gromit. I found the antidote to that pesky growth formula. Now we can finally cut our bee problem down to size. Though there is one small complication.